Gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on December the 23rd, 2024, as American households and businesses are in the process of preparing for the holidays, the Biden-Harris Department of Energy finalized burdensome and unnecessary energy efficiency standards for walk-in coolers and walk-in freezers. These products are staples. They're necessary in businesses and restaurants across the country, and they play an essential role in providing consumers with safe and fresh food as well as drinks. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, the Biden-Harris administration's final rule jeopardizes those very same small and independent retailers' ability to serve the communities that rely on them. This final rule will force stores like small grocers and convenience stores to incur significant, major upfront costs for new equipment. I know because I operated air conditioning equipment for business for 35 years. They will incur significant, major upfront costs for new equipment while reckoning with associated operational disruptions and supply chain challenges. The Biden-Harris DOE itself estimated that the cost of these standards, which were last updated just a handful of years ago, to be almost $1 billion with a B dollars. However, the real cost, Mr. Speaker, is likely much higher, as DOE ignored other costs businesses will be forced to absorb. I know, I operated an air conditioning company for 35 years. For example, like any structural changes needed to accommodate a new walk-in cooler or freezer in order to comply with their final rule. Unfortunately, this final rule will disproportionately impact rural communities and small businesses. In many areas across the country, Mr. Speaker, including in my district in Texas, there are communities with limited food and drink and retail options. It's not uncommon for a convenience store to bridge that gap in providing food to American families. These same small businesses, which are often owned and operated by a single family or an individual, cannot afford the new equipment mandated by these unreasonable standards. In fact, 90% of food and drink retailers are categorized as small businesses and operate, get this, with a 1 to 3% margin. That's how slim the margin is. The result will be significant costs being passed down to consumers, and in the worst case scenario, the shuttering of businesses, those mom and pop businesses that we all like, they may be shuttered, prevented from providing essential services to their very communities that they grew up in. Well, thankfully, Mr. Speaker, the House is considering H.J. Res. 24, introduced by Representative Bice of Oklahoma, to repeal this disastrous final rule. Over the last 4 years, small businesses have endured supply chain challenges, an inflationary environment, and regulatory uncertainty, just to name a few. Congress has the opportunity today to chart a new path for the small and independent retailers and grocers that feed American families by repealing this final rule. I thank the gentlelady from Oklahoma for her leadership on this issue, and I urge my colleagues to join me in supporting H.J. Res. 24. Once again, I'm going to urge all my colleagues to support, and I reserve, Mr. Speaker.
Gentleman from Texas reserves. Gentleman from New Jersey is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.